Hi, I'm Juliet right here at Arc Ember, and I am in our sound studio today because I want to give you a little bit information about what it would look like to record your audiobook. So I know that writing your book is a process and it's a labor of love, and I know that holding that book in your hand is so valuable. But as we know, there's also a lot of people in the world that don't read physical books. Instead, they're more of an audio listener, whether it's on Audible or other platforms. They truly rather listen to a book. I know that's even me. If someone suggests a book, the first thing I do is I go to Audible and I try to download it. And actually, the physical book is my plan B, just because I'm always listening on the go. So maybe that's you, or maybe you've had people ask you if it's coming to Audible or as an audio version. And I want to let you know that this is something that is available. It is outside of your JOA package, but it's a fairly small add-on that can be done. Now, you can always hire people to read your book. You can always record it at home. But whichever way you do it, I would love to just speak to you for a moment from my heart about why I'm passionate about that it's in your own voice. Last year, I had a friend pass away of a heart attack instantly. He was in his 40s, left behind a family of 4, was a very well-known, well-loved, larger-than-life entrepreneur. And when I got the call that he had passed away, the first thing I did was I downloaded his Audible book. Now, I have the hardcover book at my house, and it's on my shelf, and I could have went and got it, but instead, in that moment of loss, I wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to hear his laugh and his excitement. And I was so excited to have that piece of him. And I downloaded the Audible book and I hit play, and it wasn't him. He had hired it out to someone else. I'm sure he was busy and outsourcing just seemed like an easier option. But what I would have given to have a piece of him, his legacy, his voice as he's telling these stories. So that is why I'm going to be recording my own books, and that is why I would encourage you to record your own books as well. Now, here at Arc and Ember, we understand that you are not a professional narrator. We wouldn't expect you to be. We understand that most likely this is your first time recording an audiobook. And that's why I would really recommend you coming and working with us here in the studio for a couple different reasons. One, we have all the tech that you need, the highest quality microphones and mixers and microphones. We even have iPads that scroll as you're talking so you don't have to turn a page. But not only that, more than that, we have the support team to be with you every step of the way. Our project managers work as your sound engineers, and they sit here every word that you read. Now, they're listening for the sound quality. Yes, they're making sure that all the tech stuff works without a hitch, but more than that, they're listening as your listener would hear it. And so if you were to mumble over a word, if you were to say a word twice, maybe the pronunciation isn't right, or maybe the inflection isn't right in a word, they're hearing that in real time, and they're able to clap and assist so that it makes a note on where to make that edit, so that when your book is done, typically between 8 and 10 hours later, over a couple of days, you know without a shadow of a doubt that it was recorded to the quality, not perfect, but ready for editing. That's the next step that we take care of. We work with a professional editor that is up to date and well aware of the standards that it takes for Audible to accept a audiobook. They have a higher set of standards than other audio files, and there's a pretty small decimal range that they require, along with a list of other requirements. Now, we will work with the editor until it gets right and meets every single one of Audible's standards. Once it goes through editing, it does have to go through a review process, and so the whole process of recording your Audible is about 2 days in studio. It's about 4 days of editing, and then it can be up to 10 days of review. And so I just want you to know that ideally you could send a book as soon as it goes to formatting. You could come record, but also it can happen at any point. Anytime an Audible book comes out, it's another talking point. So whether your book's been out for a month or 6 months or a year, it's always a great thing to say, hey, guess what's just relaunching today? The audio version of this book. There are a lot of people that will buy a hardcover or paperback of a book, and they'll have every great intention to read it, but they just don't get to it. And so those same buyers will rebuy an audio version just because now they may actually get a chance to listen to your book on the go. I'm someone that will even listen to a book as I'm following along if it's a book that really impacts me. So I know that was a lot of information, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. But we would love to talk to you if this is something that you may be interested in. We do have limited spots available because it truly is a one-on-one experience here in Grand Island, Nebraska in the Arc Ember studio. So if you'd like more information, if you'd like to pencil in a day or book a day, please reach out to our Arc Ember project managers and they can answer any questions that you have. And let's get your book recorded so that it can get out to the world and impact even more lives.